Hi folks! Welcome to Living the Skye Life. If you're new here, I'm Willie.
And I'm Sarah.
We're a musician and artist, and this channel is about our journey escaping suburban life and moving to our dream home, a 200-year-old cottage on the Isle of Skye in the Scottish Highlands.
Along for the ride are our two crazy but adorable pups, Jack Spaniels and Nori.
Join us as we experience the highs and the lows of living in a remote corner of a wild Hebridean island.
This week, my family are visiting Skye, and I take them to experience some of the amazing live music that the island has to offer at the local music festival.
Meanwhile, the dogs and I were treated to the most incredible natural light show, a truly breathtaking, once-in-a-lifetime display of the Aurora Borealis.
Plus, we make the most of what might be the only warm weather we get this summer by getting outside to finish off the compost bin with a lick of paint, plus some foraging for wild ingredients in the glen.
And I put to the test our new boat Tender with its electric motor. Then I make some more exciting upgrades to our main boat, Betty.
If you don't already, please do hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with our weekly adventures. Join us as we continue.
Living the Skye Life. I'm out in the shed and I'm waiting for the tide to go out because today I'm going to go and fit this, which is a fish finder on the boat. Now, it was very kind of a couple of our viewers to send this to us. I'm talking to you, Dave, and you, Jenny. Thank you so much for sending this. And as it happened, I was already looking at one to buy new. It's called a Ray Marine Dragonfly 5. Tells you the depth. It also gives you an indication of what's going on the screen. If there's fish there, it actually shows them. So I'll fit this on the console in front of the steering wheel. This part here, the transducer, that goes at the end of the boat. It sends sonar signals down, and that's what gives it the information. Now, I've never used a fish finder before, so this should be fun. I'm pretty sure I know how to fit it, and I've looked online how to do it as well. I have actually ordered a proper bracket for it, but this is just to get me started. I just made this myself out of a couple of pieces of wood, some cable ties, you know, it's just a bit of a Heath Robinson job, but it's just to get me going. And the one that I've ordered should be here in the next few days, so I'll swap it out for that. But yeah, this should be fun. I'm looking forward to putting this on there, and I'm looking forward to using it as well. So yeah, thanks again, Jenny and Dave. Really appreciate this gift. Really cool of you, and yeah, cheers. We're down on the foreshore. Sarah's brought the dogs down in the Land Rover because you can't manage both of them on the leads. It's just too much. Nori especially is too crazy,
Yeah.
as you can hear.
We're still doing lead training with Nori until we've got that 100% sorted. Walking the both of them is an effort, a challenge for the arms.
So we're going to take the wheelbarrow over to the boat and I'll walk it back later, and Sarah will put the dogs in the back and go back up to the house. It's like a military operation, isn't it? Doing here? What happened?
I got Nori'd.
You got mud. You got mud in your face, like?
Muddy face, muddy ear, muddy hair, muddy...
It's in her ear. Oh dear. Notification.
Every time. You wanna go in the boat?
Okay, we've emptied some water out the hull because there was a wee bit from the rainwater, not too much though. So that's gone, and Sarah's now going to take the dogs away so I can get on because they'll just pester me.
Yep, we're going to go back, we're going to go swim in the river so they're not too salty, and we'll leave you to it.
Let's get this done. So the first thing I need to do is mount the unit. I need to go through the console from the top and put the bracket on there so it can be mounted there. And then I need to get the cables, go through, attach them to the battery that's already there. And that will power the unit as well as the ignition of the boat. And then I need to run a cable all the way to the back of the boat for the transducer, which will be mounted on the back of the boat. Now you can actually screw holes into your hull to attach them. I just don't fancy that, so I've bought a special mount that does that without having to drill holes in the boat. So let's get the mount on the console and then run that cable to the back for the transducer. This is the transducer mount, and it just goes over the side of the boat, and then it's clamped in place with these clamps, and they stop it from coming out of the water or falling off until my proper one arrives. I used some silicone in there to stop the water getting in, and this is now screwed on. And the actual unit comes off the boat. I don't leave it on the boat for obvious reasons.
Oh, well done, Jack.
Right, that's all done, and as you can see, the tide is coming in now, so I need to get off this beach because I've got the wheelbarrow to push. Back to Skylive Cottage, and I'll come out and test this in due course. But I switched on, all looks ship shape, but I really don't have the time to show you that right now, or I'm going to get stuck. So I'm getting out of here.
I'm here at the car park of the Slugachan Hotel. My parents and my brother are visiting this week and they go home tomorrow. We haven't done that much on camera together, it's just been nice to have some family time, and the weather's been changeable, we'll say. I think they've experienced all the Skye weathers pretty much this week. But today, the sun is shining and we're heading out to go to Skylive Music Festival. You might have seen when we went to Portree, we went to a place called The Lump. It's an old pleasure ground and it has a tower in it, and it's just an open space that was created for the Highland Games here on Skye. But they also use it for a music festival every year, which is called Skylive. Willie is staying home with the dogs. He volunteered to stay home and dog sit because obviously you can't take dogs to a music festival and it's quite a long time to leave them by themselves. I'm going to leave my car here at Slig because Portree is going to be absolutely mobbed with people parking, and we don't want to add to that with taking separate cars, so they're going to take me from here. The site opened at 4 o'clock, it's now 5. We've just been in the Slugachan Hotel bar for a drink, the Seamus bar, just because it's so nice and they have a beer garden, so we went there for one drink. The bar here at Slig is really popular for mountain climbers because you've got the Coolin Mountains right behind, so everyone that's been on the mountains today is now in the bar having a well-earned pint, which I'm quite jealous of. I would really love to get up a Munro again, it's been so long since we've done a proper mountain. So yeah, a little bit jealous of them, but we've got a music festival to go to, so let's head off. We would love to share the music with you, but legally, you need permission from the copyright holder to do this. Even if we had asked for permission from the bands, YouTube can still give your video a copyright strike, which could result in it being taken down. So you'll just have to take my word for it that the music was amazing. We saw 3 bands that night. The first was HEISK, an all-female group of folk musicians. I think this was my favourite band of the night. They took traditional instruments but added a modern twist. They even played a disco-inspired song. In the break between bands, I took a walk around the festival site. It's not big and there's only one main tent, but the Apothecary's Tower had been transformed into a dance stage. It was a slightly strange feeling to see people dancing to a DJ within view of the Old Man of Store. The second band was called Croft No. 5, another band that mixes traditional instruments with contemporary influences, including rap and funk rock. I wasn't sure about them at first, and some of the songs were a bit out there for me, but I got more into it as the set continued, and there was definitely a lot of love for them in the tent. The final band of the night was Niteworks, a dance fusion band bringing together bagpipes, Gaelic lyrics, and techno beats. Niteworks were formed on the Isle of Skye over 16 years ago, and they recently announced that they would be disbanding in 2024, making this their last ever performance on home soil. This made it quite an emotional set, and you could tell that the audience was loving every second. I particularly liked the songs with the female vocalists, as they had amazing voices and the harmonies were incredible. I love that all the bands we watched brought something new to the trad music scene, which is still going strong in the Highlands and Islands of Scotland. It is the morning after the night before. No, it's not. It's afternoon. We were up until about 2 a.m. last night. I think we went to bed. We left the tent early just before Niteworks finished because we wanted to beat the crowds and we wanted to get back to the car because my parents had to give me a lift back to our glen before going back to their accommodation as well. And we got out of the tent and I looked at my phone and realised everybody in the world was going crazy for the Aurora. Which is basically putting on the performance of a lifetime while we were inside that tent watching the band. So we looked up and we couldn't see anything because the festival site was so bright, and we then got in the car, so we pulled over and we were wondering if we would see anything, and we did. All in all, a pretty amazing night at Scottish Music Festival. It was sunny, it was warm, we saw some really amazing bands and we had a lot of fun, and we capped it off by seeing the Aurora afterwards. It was so nice being in a crowd again and seeing some live music, and everyone was really enjoying it. There's a lot of locals that come to the festival. You could see a lot of the people knew each other and were meeting friends and stuff. It was lovely. All the crowd got really involved and yeah, really enjoyed it and definitely want to go back next year. My parents are way back to Newcastle. Shout out to Claire at Cafe Cool for providing the ultimate recovery brunch because that was amazing as usual. And yep, time to get home. Willie's quite tired too, but he didn't come to the festival. I wonder what he was staying up for.
Yep, back at Skylive Cottage, I was having my mind blown by the amazing intense light show going on overhead. The entire sky was illuminated like an enormous dome of dancing, ever-changing, vibrant lights, as close as I've ever felt to a physical, spiritual encounter. And I'm not joking, it was an emotional experience. I was lying on my back on a rug in the middle of the lawn with the two dogs playing around me, drinking a dram of whiskey and thoroughly enjoying the show from start to end, including the peak of the activity, which I think happened when Sarah was in a tent. I would say, well, there's always next time, but sorry Sarah, apparently this was a once-in-a-lifetime event.
For anyone who missed out on the phenomenon, remember that the colours the camera picks up are always more vivid than it looks in real life. The auroras we've seen have been amazing spectacles, but the colours we see are normally more like this than the bright greens, reds and purples you will have seen in photographs, as cameras are able to pick up much more light than our eyes. Willie finished the compost bin yesterday and he's done a really good job. We switch roles now, so he's inside doing some editing, and it's about time we gave it a coat of paint just to give some extra protection to the wood from the wild elements that we're not getting today, but we will get again very soon. It's going to be tucked down in the corner there, so we don't want to really draw too much attention to it, and we didn't really want to go out and buy another tin of different coloured paint than we've already got. So what we thought was maybe using the same dark wood stain for the outer edges. I don't know if I want that dark wood facing us into the garden, so I might also use the rest of that seagrass paint that we used on the planters. Don't know, we'll see how it goes, but yep, I think I'm going to start with that dark stain on the outside edges. I swear it took me about 10 minutes just to get that lid off. Yeah, we've only got half a tin left of this. I think you need 2 coats. We definitely did 2 coats on the shed, so I don't think I'd get 2 coats over the whole thing anyway. So we'll see how far this goes, and then I'll make a decision about the third side and see what colour I'm going to paint it. First coat done, one side, and I think it looks pretty good like that.
It does, it'll really blend in because we don't want to make a feature of it, do we?
Yeah, that's what we found with the shed when we painted it that dark brown. when you go down to the beach or across in the woods, you can't see it really at all, which is quite nice. It just sort of blends in.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to carry on. I'm going to put some shorts on because it's hot.
It's warm.
It is warm. I'm going to put some sun cream on as well. Don't worry.
I need my sunglasses on.
Yeah.
Are you sure we're on Skye?
Costa del Skye. I'll see how much I get out of that tin because there's only half a tin. I don't think I'll get the whole thing done in it, but...
As long as you get the outside done, because that's going to get battered more than the inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see. But we want to make it look nice and neat as well.
Aye, true.
That's 3 sides all painted. I've still got a few bits and pieces to do on the inside. Decided to keep it all one colour just because I just figured it would look neater. It's too hard to do different colours. Willie's bought me some lunch, crab cake rolls from the crab that he caught in his lobster pots, so that's gonna be very nice. Let's go have some lunch.
Earlier in the video we showed you the new fish finder, but we also got a new tender for the boat, a small second-hand inflatable dinghy. We opted for an electric motor this time, so let's test it out. Oh, and the fish finder while we're at it. First we had to unload the car of all stuff. Sarah inflated the new dinghy and I took the car away because the tide was coming in and we didn't want Yolanda to end up full of water. Time to set up the electric motor and the battery. Red to positive. You don't have to touch them because they've got a plastic cover on them, which is a really clever design. And that's now ready to rock. Gross bait at front. Petroleum. And my rucksack will go in here.
I don't think I would have fitted.
Ah, you would have, because I would have just thrown that on my back. Right, that'll do for now. Get the rest of the stuff ready and get it out there. Going backwards.
I'm going the wrong way.
The thing that's most striking about this is the fact that it's so quiet. Usually with an outboard you hear like a roar of an engine, but this it's quiet, really quiet. And you just sort of roughly adjust it now and again. You just point it the way you want to go and it just takes you there. I've got it on the 4th gear just now, but it's got 5 gears. So this is me in 4th. And that's me in 5th. It's fairly nipping on. It ain't slow.
We're leaving Yolanda down on the beach just so it's easy to pack everything back in at the end of the trip. So I'm just walking back. The boys are in the kitchen and they'll be listening out for a car coming back because they're that clever. So they might not hear me coming. Let's see if we can sneak up on them. Well, there's no barking. So they clearly just put that on for our benefit when we leave and come back. That's so funny. Nori was in his bed and then under the table and he saw me. He's come round to the gate, but he didn't bark. So that tells me that Jack is definitely the initiator of the barking, because when he sees us coming back, he goes crazy. I think he's just sleeping in his bed. There you go. See? Are you excited? Oh, I've been gone for hours and hours. Or 10 minutes. Come on, boysies. Hiya, yes, we came back.
Right, that's me all set up to go now. Just running the engine for a couple of minutes just to warm it up. And I've got the pots already baited to be thrown out. I'm also going to try out the fish finder. I've got a new bracket for it. I made one to try it out, never got a chance to use it. And the one that I bought arrived in the mail, so I'm using that one now instead. It should be fun. Let's get out to sea. So I've got the fish finder working. I need to be less than 30 metres deep because that's the length of my lines, and right now it's 20.5 metres, which is pretty good. So I'll probably move over there a little bit just because there's a rock, and then drop a pot. It's saying it's 29.3 metres just now, but I don't see any features or anything. It'd be nice if there was big rocks at the bottom or something, because they would hold fish, but it looks pretty featureless. It'd be nice to catch something. 22.7 metres, so that should be fine. Number one. Nice. Number one. In the water. On to number two. My other one's over there. So I'll put one here, I'll put a little triangle out, I think. That's 25 metres, so that's perfect. If you can sit down, sit down. Give a bit of slack. Otherwise you come back and your boys on a higher tide. They're no bobbing on the surface anymore, they're under the water. Second one in. Now this one, I think I've only got about a metre to play with. 29 metres. Better get it in quick so I've still got enough rope. 29 is fine. 29.3. Uh-oh. 28. 29.1. It's going to be tight. Okay, I am going to have to extend this rope, I reckon. It's not the end of the world. Just got a wee extension here. Hopefully this should be enough. I think it will be. Right, extension added, boy in the water, that's number 3. Just let us drift away from that now. And then I'll probably, actually no, I won't. I'm just going to fish here. Why not? It's as good a place as any. Let's do this. The feathers are about, I don't know, a metre or two above the bottom. So what I'm waiting for is the rod end to start knocking, and then I'll pick them up because we're bobbing around anyway, so there's going to be action in those lures anyway. I've been worse places. This is amazing. Look at the waterfall there, just beyond the rod. Stunning coastline. And there's that rock. I'll call it the Goonies rock. It looks like it's from the movie The Goonies. Not easy to keep it still at this range. I'll zoom out a bit. There you go. That's better. If that starts going doof 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 doof, that means I've got a fish on. As it stands, it's not doing anything. Enjoying this. There's a lot of bird action over there actually. So that might mean that there's sprats, and if there's sprats there's mackerel, and that's what I'm trying to catch. I want mackerel not just to eat and to give to the dogs because they love them, but also because I want to keep them for bait as well, for the pots. Is my rod doing something? No, I think it's just a current. Kayakers! Hello! I just waved them, they waved back as well. That's why I'm going so slow, so there's virtually no wake for them. Again, I'm in about 30 metres of water. I've gone right over the other side now towards the shore, and I want to give it a go here. It looks a little bit rockier on the screen, but not mega. Let's just try it. And I definitely don't see any fish on the screen, but I don't know if mackerel would show up because they're not exactly massive. It might just be one of those days that the fish aren't biting, they're starting here, they're maybe in the deeper water. I've noticed actually when it's really flat calm here, you never catch much. It's only when the water's moving around a lot. I've got the Coolin mountain range over there, got the beautiful shore over there and a waterfall over there. There's the Talisker sea stack over there. Amazing. Loving it. Just need to catch a fish now. Okay, I see no fish on this fish finder. Not the fault of the fish finder, it's the fault of the fact that there's no fish here. Nothing running, the rod's not picked up a single bite, so I'm just wasting my time, I think. I'll go back in now and hopefully catch more next time. But we did get the pots out, so that is a result. Time to go back in, otherwise I'm going to have a long walk when I get back to the beach.
It's about 11 o'clock in the morning and we're in the studio doing some painting and editing. This is normally the time we'll stop and make a cup of tea. We had some controversy the other day in the video where we made a cup of tea and we didn't use loose tea in a teapot, so I'm sorry that we don't do that. Willie drinks normal tea, he calls it builder's tea. 1 tea bag, bit of milk and a spoonful of honey. He prefers honey to sugar. I drink mint tea. I really dislike English breakfast tea. Can't stand it. I'm an awful British person, I know, because I don't drink proper tea. But yep, I always have mint tea, so that's why we have our separate cups and our separate tea bags. But we're running low on mint tea bags and we don't have a shop due for a few days. While we've been out on the track here doing Nori's lead training in the morning, we've noticed that there is some water mint growing wild by the side of the track. And instead of using a tea bag, I thought I would go pick some wild mint and use that for my tea instead. You boys weren't meant to see me going. You're not coming. You're not coming, Nori. You're a liability when it comes to foraging, or any growing thing, any living thing. Currently, you're a liability. He likes to squish and stomp and chase butterflies and bees. Is that a helicopter? They sending it for you, gonna take you away. Naughty Dog's Penitentiary. Yes. Won't be long. Oh my gosh, the weather's so nice today. It was gorgeous yesterday too. This might be our summer. It's May and it's probably like mid-20s in the sun, temperature wise, and it's so nice. It's so nice. Bright blue sky, hardly any clouds. So this probably won't last. Come June it'll probably be cold and grey again, but this is so nice, so we've got to enjoy it while it lasts. Okay, so this is where most of the mint is, right by these yellow irises. Bruise the leaves. Yeah, it smells really minty. So that is water mint. It's got a kind of dark red tone to the leaves and they're quite round compared to sort of other mint leaves. That'll do. I'll get a few stalks and take it home. Before I pick any, I'm being careful that it doesn't have any cuckoo spit underneath the leaves. That's the larva of a little bug that's growing in there, so I don't want to disturb them, but there's plenty that don't have it. Right, I can hear my dogs making a fuss back at the house, which probably means they want me back. So, yep, time to go home, make a cup of tea. As always, if you're foraging for wild foods, please only pick what you are 100% sure about what it is. If there's a little bit of doubt, just leave it and don't eat it. And as well, if you're picking stuff like watercress or mint like this that grows near the water where there's livestock present, especially sheep, then there are a few things in them that can be quite harmful if you eat it raw. I'm going to be putting this in boiling water, which is going to kill whatever nasties it might have, but I wouldn't use this mint in, say, a cocktail or making mint sauce because that uses it raw. Time for a cup of tea, I think. So there we go, I have my cup of mint tea, and it smells much nicer than the tea bag stuff because, I don't know if that's because it's dried, it's got a bit of a musty smell, which I'm not so keen on, but this is really fresh. It's also very hot. That's nice. It's got a different flavour to the peppermint tea that you get in the supermarkets. Quite mild, maybe I'll use more leaves next time, but definitely going to be giving that a go. As always folks, thank you so much for watching our video. We really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please do leave us a like, a comment, or subscribe to our channel if you don't already. It's free to do, helps our channel to grow, and you get notified when our new videos come out every week, Sunday night, 6 PM UK time.
If you enjoyed the video and you do want to help the channel out, you can do so over on Ko-fi. You can buy us a coffee or the dogs a wee treat. And what I really mean, of course, is you help with the running costs of making these videos.
Or if you want to help us out more long term, you can join our amazing community over on Patreon, where you get bonus content for helping us out each month.
If you're interested in our creative endeavours, you can go over to Sarah's Etsy store for her artworks.
Or head across to Bandcamp for Willie's original music featuring in all our videos.
Thanks again for watching, and we will see you next week. We're leaving our suburban life, moving over the sea to Skye. Are we chasing a dream? I guess in time we will see, when we're living the Skye life. Living the Skye life. Okay, the dogs are now coming over, of course.
We have an audience of 2.
So he's going to jump up?
No, he's going to sit. He's going to be a good boy.
Sit and be a good boy, okay. Right.
It's free to do, helps our channel to grow, and the dogs are rustling.
In the kitchen.
Yeah. Okay, one side done, first coat.
I'll stand. I need to get in my position because otherwise you'd cut my head off.
Growing down by the side. Nice, neat compost bin. Oh. I haven't used this in a while. I can't see it. There it is.
Bloopers.
And the wind starts. Don't leave it. You add. Not for you. Boysies, come on. Come on. Oh, nice. Sorry about that.
Take it a little close.
Spider.
Spider. Spider. He is our hero. Must stop Spider. Click here to subscribe to live in the Skylive.
Click here to go back to the start of our adventures with our very first episode.